Two words we read towards the end of our parsha, na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will hear. They're among the most famous in Judaism. They are what our ancestors said when they accepted the covenant at Sinai. There's a tradition in the Talmud that God had to suspend the mountain over the heads of the Israelites in order to persuade them to accept the Torah. But these words, na'aseh v'nishma, seem to suggest the opposite. When our ancestors said them, it's as if they accepted the covenant voluntarily and enthusiastically, na'aseh v'nishma. But what do the words actually mean? Na'aseh is sort of straightforward. It means we will do. It's about action, about behavior, about deed. But the word nishma is anything but clear. It could mean we will hear, but it could also mean we will obey or we will understand. Rashi follows the view in the Talmud and Tractate Shabbat, where the view is that the words mean we will do and then we will hear. For him, the Torah means to convey that the people expressed a total faith in God. They accepted the covenant even before they heard the terms of the covenant. But Rashi's grandson, the Rashbam, disagrees. He understands the words to mean we will do what we have already been commanded until now, and we will obey all future commands as well. Thus, for him, our ancestors were looking both backwards and forwards. Nishma here means not to listen, but to hearken or to obey. Sforno, the Italian commentator, says the words mean we will obediently do. In other words, the two words both convey the same emphasized idea of obedience. Rabbi Isaac Arama, the great 15th century Spanish Jewish scholar, believed the words meant we will do and we will understand. This is a really interesting explanation. Here, Arama suggests that the Israelites put doing before understanding. He understood that there are certain things in life that you can only understand by doing them. And that's really what our ancestors were conveying. That's what they were committing to. For instance, we only understand leadership in life by leading. Can't read about leading and learn how to do it right from a book. We only understand authorship by writing. We only understand music by listening. And that is the way it is with faith. We only understand Judaism by living Judaism, by following its commandments. So first we will do, na'aseh, and then we will come to understand, nishma. One of the really fascinating aspects of Judaism, something that makes it unique, is its emphasis on deed over creed. The mitzvot, generally, are meant to be followed the same way. That's not to say that there are not differences between Ashkenazim and Sfardim, between conservative and Orthodox Judaism. In every generation, there are disagreements between rabbis. But sometimes we forget that these differences and disagreements are minor in comparison with the area of agreement that most Jews share on the fundamentals of halacha, the basics, what it means to practice Judaism. And this is what historically has always united the Jewish people. Judaism is a legal religion. It is a code of behavior. It is a community of deed. Hence, when it comes to doing na'aseh, the Israelites spoke together with one voice. We will do. But nishma, understanding, comes later and need not be the same for everyone. Judaism has had its rationalists and its mystics. It has had its philosophers and poets, its scholars whose minds were firmly fixed on earth, and its saints too, whose souls soared to heaven. The rabbis said that at Sinai, everyone received the revelation in his or her own way. It was a different experience for everybody. What unites us as a people is action, not reflection. We do the same deeds, but we understand them differently. This is what Maimonides meant when he wrote in his commentary to the Mishnah that when there is disagreement between the sages, and it does not concern an action, but only the establishment of an opinion, it is not appropriate to make a halachic ruling in favor of one of the sides. All of the opinions must stand on their own. This doesn't mean that Judaism does not have strong beliefs. It certainly does. But we should allow great leeway in how different people understand the faith of our ancestors. Heresy hunting is not a Jewish activity and never has been. Actually, one of the great ironies of Jewish history is that no one did more than Maimonides himself to elevate creed over deed. You know his famous 13 principles of faith. But the irony is that he became the first victim of this doctrine. In his lifetime, he was accused of heresy, and after his death, his books were burned. These were shameful episodes. So what does Na'aseh v'nishma mean? I think it means we, all of us, in order to really count as part of the covenant, commit to the deeds, commit to the mitzvot, to the observances, to doing them to the best of our abilities. Without them, the Jewish people are no longer one people, no longer really fulfilling our covenant as a people. But we will understand ourselves and our relationship to God in our own way. For one of the great gifts of Sinai is that, yes, there we received the Torah, but we also found an ever-present and ever-enduring space to find our own way to faith. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom.